clicking go live. -13. -13. Is the Starlink playing game? I'm under a tree. It's very dark. It's very dark. Can you all see me? Unless this hasn't caught up. I don't think it's caught up. I don't know. I'm bright there. I'm dark there. That's a bit trippy, isn't it? Why am I so dark on this one? Look at me. I'm so dark. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to blast this. I'll blast it up. I don't bloody see anything. See, on my computer, everything looks fine. But it's a bit dark. Oh, I can see viewer number 9. Hello, viewer number 9. Where am I looking? I don't even know where I'm looking anymore. Everything's different. It's the first time I've done a live stream in... Take those things off because I can just hear myself. Is there an echo to my voice, or is everything okay? I can just hear it. There's a delay and it bugs me. Sounds like I'm in a tunnel. I still don't understand why the iPad is quite dark. It should be that bright, what I'm looking at on my laptop. It should be. Howdy, Captain Howdy, says... I'm a bit rusty, viewer number 9. Howdy, Captain Howdy. Howdy, Captain Howdy. Viewer number 9, pleasure to see you here. Oh no, your one's gone for a burn. Your tea's gone for a burn. The Major is back. Ray, hello Ray. Just know it's very dark. If you were to see what I see here on this screen, on my laptop, everything's fine. Why is it coming out dark? I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit confused. Can see you fine, says viewer number 9. Ray says that's where treasure is buried. That's very dark. Is everyone okay with the... I don't understand why the preview screen here is bright and the broadcast screen is dark. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm going to put a strobe on, aren't I? Oh, these things drive me up the wall. Let's try that. I mean, that's really bright on this screen. Why is it broadcasting so dark? Give me a second. Let's see whether it makes a difference. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm too bright here. Okay, that's a little bit better, isn't it? But if you were to see what I see here, if I turn the camera, obviously you wouldn't see what I see. You'd see me filming this computer. But how's that? How's that? Is that fine? I don't know why it's broadcasting in a low light. It's fine, honestly, says viewer number 9. Okay, thank you. Where are you? Over there. You're there. I tell you what, getting used to this new area is already thrown me. I sat here and did so many tests to try and get the audio right on OBS, and there was a delay, and then there was setting up the microphone with the capture card and the camera back to the camera settings, which I'd been using the camera as a video camera, and I was like, it took me 6 hours. 6 hours to place all this, and it's got to go up again and fold back down again because this is my living room now. This is my living room space. I have my chair there and a screen that comes down here, and all this needs to be packed away. So I'm gonna take pictures of the settings. I'm gonna take pictures of where everything is, and it will generally, when I do a stream, it will generally always be here in this setup, in this form. But I certainly will be using reference points. I'll be marking it like they do with a dead body, you know, when they draw around the dead body and they you know, reference it. That's what I'll be doing. Oh, forgive me, I'm a little bit rusty. I did a live stream on Tour Tales yesterday with just the phone. Sometimes that's easier. Sometimes that's a lot easier to do than these ones were. I forgot how complicated these ones actually are. So bear with me. I'm still like my brain's not 100% for streams and things. So what have we got? Good to see you. Right, let me start this stream again by saying, viewer number 9. Hello, viewer number 9. How are you? Glad you're here, viewer number 9. Ray, good to have you here, Ray. Viewer number 9. Johnny Jepson. Johnny Jepson. Hello, Johnny Jepson. I don't recall your name, but then again, it's been a while, so excuse me if you've been in before. Viewer number 9. Hello, lovely. Hello, lovely. Hello, lovely. It's fine, honestly, says viewer number 9. It's fine. It's just me fretting, viewer number 9. It's just me fretting. You know, I'm slightly jaundice in this picture. I'm Casper the Friendly Ghost in this one. Jaundice, Casper. Jaundice, Casper. Don't know why they're two very different. Doesn't look dark to me. Ray, doesn't look dark to me. Good. Donna. My God. Hello, Donna. How are you, Donna? Donna, lovely Donna. Sheriff Brackett. Hello, Sheriff Brackett. Sorry you didn't catch a stream yesterday. Good to have you here now. Hey, Major, good to see you, says Sheriff Brackett. All the way over in America. America. Just watched Tour Tales from an Arrowboat stream. I was only 24 hours late. Viewer number 9, 24 hours is fine. It's like a vintage. It's like a vintage wine, actually. It's like a vintage wine where if you leave it 24 hours, it just gets better. In fact, if you leave it for 48 hours, it's even better. And if you leave it for like a week, it's perfect. Don't have to watch live streams when they go out, honestly. It's always nice to have somebody watching, even if it's just like 1 or 2 people, which is kind of was yesterday. So keeps me talking then. I am on batteries, and as you can see, this setup is quite powerful, quite power consuming. So I've had solar right up until 7 o'clock. The sun has just gone down, obviously, and it's now running on batteries. There may be a little bit of lag to this stream. I'm hoping it won't interfere with the quality on show, but I am under a tree, and Starlink specifically state, being that everything that makes a Starlink work is up in the sky, you must have a vast amount of coverage of the sky to set up a Starlink to get a good signal. So there's not going to be any drop frames. I've sorted that out, but there may be an issue with the stream freezing up every so often. I apologize. It's because I'm under a hawthorn tree. And I know it's a hawthorn tree because I don't know whether you can see that. I don't know whether you can see a swelling there. Can you see a slight swelling and well, you can kind of there, around there. A hawthorn, I mean, I'm surprised it didn't pierce my vein. It went straight in by about that far. I was trying to break it. I was trying to break the little branches off the end because I've moored right underneath it, and I couldn't get in and out very easily with the boat. And I thought, I'm not taking off branches. I'm just going to take off little twigs of branches. Well, little did I know, when I looked down, I had this spike. It was a scene out of The Omen. Do you remember when was it? Is it Patrick Troughton? Is it Patrick Troughton that gets skewered, the priest in The Omen, with the railing? It was like that. Slightly exaggerated, but it was like that. It really stabbed me. Bloody nature. Who wants to be out in nature? I do. And Ray says better than 28 days later. Better than 28 days later. Oh, we're talking about how a stream ages like a fine wine. 28 days later. Thoughts? Who likes 28 days later? I've recently rewatched 28 days later. Is that the first one? Yeah, because 28 months later or whatever it is. Yep, I was letting it marinate. Oh, viewer number 9. Marinated his own sauces. In his own sauces. Look at this weird shadow that's coming over my face. It's not here. It's perfect on my laptop screen. Donna, lovely shirt. Oh, thank you. Do you like the? I thought I'd put the black one on. I've got a white one. I've got a beige one, like a beigey colour, and I've got a black one. I went mad and bought them. Marks and Spencers, they were. Marks, a bit upmarket for Marks. They were last year's. I think I bought them beginning. They're linen, so I just love these shirts. All 3 different colours that I've got. They're lovely. They're light as well. They are long sleeve, but I don't like short sleeve, so they're very nice. And they got me through the summer last year, and I had a few compliments then about the shirt, and I thought, I'm definitely gonna be wearing those again. Normally I wear them for like one summer or one year, and then I'll leave them in the wardrobe for a couple of years, and I'll buy something different, and then I'll go back to that in about 2 or 3 years. A bit sad, really, isn't it? But no, this is the 2nd year running, and they still hold up, and they're very light, and they look smart. So thank you, Donna, for noticing. 28 weeks later, last night was okay, but I'm not. 28 weeks later, last night was okay, but I'm not. How, Ray? Oh, watch 28. Sorry, watch 28. I'm going to have to get this thing closer. I can't see what I'm doing anymore. My eyes. If I put that, well, that's going to touch the computer screen. Put it there. I put it there. No, you kind of want to be able to. You kind of want to look at the comments and the camera at the same time, but so small. Oh, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. There we are. I've made them bigger. Popped them out, made them bigger. The comments. Not anything else. Right, I mean, fucking stay there, you bugger. Better than 28 days later. Right, let me move that up. Lovely shirt. Watched 28 weeks later last night, but I'm okay. Druss! Hello, Druss. What's nature ever done for us? Sounds like the beginning of a Monty Python sketch, Druss. What's nature ever done for us? Well, it's brought us sunshine and light and life and grass. Okay, well, apart from sunshine, life, light and grass, what has nature ever done for us? How are you, Druss? Viewer number 9 says the shirt has got a Givenchy-esque. Givenchy? Is it a silent G? Is it Givenchy? I never know how to pronounce fancy Italian fashion wear. Is that Italian? Sounds Italian. Givenchy. But I bet you it's like, no, you don't say G, it's Givenchy or something like that. Shows how cultured I am. First time I've ever bought I bought some aftershave. I don't normally buy aftershave, like expensive stuff. When I was in my 20s, I used to buy this aftershave like it was going out of fashion, and it was Calvin Klein Obsession. And do you know what I bought the other day? Calvin Klein Obsession. I don't know how popular it still is, but when I squirt, I was like, oh my god, that takes me back to the clubbing days of the 90s. It must be such a 90s thing now, Calvin Klein obsession. It was a big thing in the 90s. It was quite popular with the 20 somethings back in the 90s. It's probably outdated now. It's probably a bit like putting on Old Spice. But yeah, that's going to do that thing, isn't it? It's going to focus on that. But yeah, I don't know whether Calvin Klein Obsessions still had. It was expensive. But yeah, where did I get onto? Oh, Gavinci or Avinci. Viewer number 9 says, "Hi, Donna Love. Hi, Donna Love." Richard English. Richard, hello, Richard. It's like someone's died in here. How are you, Richard? How are you, my friend? Are you well? Are you well? Druss says, okay, MDC, have you got a new gimbal yet? No, I've restored my gimbal. I used the gimbal yesterday to record the stream that I did outside the boat on Tall Tales for a Narrowboat stream last night. I used the gimbal. It's somewhat limited of what I can and can't do with it anymore since the size 10 decided to stamp on it into the ground of the lock. It's got a few limitations, but it's working. I've got it to work, Druss. So I'm glad, because I didn't really want to spend another £170 on a gimbal. So I've got it working. It holds the camera, and I can kind of use the joystick again on it. There are a couple of things, but I don't want to go into it now. I like your pick, number 9, says Donna. What is that pick? It's the number 9 from. Says it's like one of those colorblind charts. It's probably from number 9, the series inside number 9, is it? Or Siri, stop listening. Stop listening. I can't help you with that, but you can change it in settings. Just stop listening. There was a problem connecting to my home remotely. Check if you're on the same Wi-Fi, or make sure control. Siri, stop listening. Siri, tell a joke. What do you call someone with no body and no nose? Nobody knows. Yeah, what is that, viewer number 9? What is that? What is that? Do explain. Ow, that hurts. So yeah, everything's laid out differently. On this screen, you can clearly see it's minimal over there. It's minimal. Well, apart from the statue, that's not minimal. Apart from the Venus de Milo, that's not minimal, but it is essential to what I was creating here. So yeah, but it's because I'm at this end of the boat, because at the other end now there's a bed, and I would, if you remember, I would be in the little office. So now we have this whole scope back here, which you can kind of see if I turn around. Oh shit! So this is my chair. It just flicks over and it turns into a bed. It's really cool, actually. And then I've got shelves up there, and then I've got shelves over there. And that's about it, really. Apart from this desk, which is like a little raised desk. Above me is, you might hear it, is a 60, is it 60 or 50 inch? I think it's a 60 inch 4:3 projector screen. Here is my projector. It's in this thing. This is my projector. There you go. So that it's a short throw LG 4K projector, and that goes kind of by the chair, and I pull that down, and there's my entire setup to watch television. A television. It's not television. To watch the Fire Stick and all the jailbreaking apps that I have on the Fire Stick to watch things for free, to watch shit for free. So yeah, it's a minimal room. There is a blue velvet rug here, and you need to say chevron floor, which you can't see. You might be able to see. No, I'm not going to change that. But a chevron. Oh. But it's just trying to find a place for this setup for the Major Dolby's Cat has always been a complicated setup with audio converters, capture cards, camera, DSLRs, laptops, microphones. It's always been a clumsy setup. But it's just getting used to it, really. It's just getting used to it. I'm hoping that we're okay with if there's any technical issues, do let me know in the chat, because there may be technical issues with the fact that, as I've said, my Starlink is under a hawthorn tree. So Elon always said, make sure that you point your Starlink directly to the sky, because that's where all our magic is. He said that, and word for word, like that. He said, that's where all our magic is. And if you're ever under a hawthorn tree, it won't work. And I say, Elon, you're full of shit. It works, but there is a bit of latency. So there we go. But yeah, anyway, how's everyone been since I've been away? Talk among yourselves. Oh, hello. Hold on. Let me get that. It's gone small. That's what she said. Yeah, so there's a random picture I stole from the web. It was a random picture, was it? I thought it was a special number 9. Reminds me of the colorblind charts. Number 9. Looks a bit Art Nouveau to me. The pic, Sistana, Art Nouveau. Yeah. All right. Okay. You can guess what this. Right. Anyway, if you can not guess what this is. But what do you reckon this? Like, I bought this in Japan. I haven't been to Japan. I've just had it with me for 20 years. Hold on. Let me go to. I'm gonna do something with it. When I was on the cruise ships, I was gonna do that. When I was on the cruise ships, I picked this up. It's purple. It's a lamp base. And obviously it's Art Deco. One would assume it's Art Deco. I've carried it around. It's been in so many places. What I'm doing with this is I'm creating the Saturn lamp. That is a World's Fair, from the World's Fair 1945. A Saturn lamp. With a base, and I'm creating my own version of it. A Saturn lamp from 1945, as I've recently, well, not recently, the last couple of months I've been researching it, will set you back around £3,000. And quite frankly, if it fell in here, it's just going to smash, and I'm not willing to spend anywhere near that. I'm thinking more of a 3D printed Saturn globe to fit this rather cool Art Deco base, and I will use it as a light. Again, if you know, you know. But that's and then I just throw it, and then I just throw it. It's been with me for 20 years. It's been in this world since 1945. Fucking there you go. I already have a dent in my new fridge. I don't know how it got there. It really pissed me off. I looked at it today and I was like, it's a little tiny dink about that big in my slimline 12-volt fridge, and I don't know how it got there, and it's really annoying. I might try and get a little suction cup and see whether I can pop it out like I've done with my Peugeot. But yes, anyway, I've digressed a bit. Hi, Video Diva. Hello, Video Diva. How are you, Video Diva? How are you? I can't see. I'm actually I've got a lot of light now in my face, which is good. Got a light. I hope people aren't picking up any echoes. because I can hear an echo, but I think it's just because it's coming out of here. Hold on a second, let me turn that down. That shouldn't affect my audio. Is my audio sounding good? On here, there's a delay. It's a slight delay. Richard English says, good evening, Major, Sheriff Brackett, Ray, Druss, Donna, Johnny Jepson, viewer number 9, and Diva. Superstition surrounds the hawthorn tree here in Ireland. Do tell more, Donna. Like, what exact... I know it's... I think the hawthorn tree features in The Wicker Man, doesn't it? Am I right in thinking that the... No, hold on. What were the Christ's thorns made of? Were they hawthorn in the Bible? Any Bible readers out there would be able to tell me. What kind of tree was that made Christ's crown? It's not really a crown, was it? It was stabbed into his forehead. It's not the nicest crown to wear. It's not exactly. Yep, I'm pretty sure the hawthorn was featured in Wicker Man. Rowan Morrison. I don't know. Maybe that was the Rowan tree. Maybe that was Rowan. I don't know. I can't remember. Superstition. I do think it. I do believe that I read the Witch's Bible when I was in my 20s because my girlfriend was into witchcraft, and I do remember the hawthorn being an ingredient in some kind of weird concoction spell thing. So I'm not too far removed. Sheriff Brackett says, "Hey Richard, hey Richard." Johnny says, "Hi, hiya Richard," says Donna. "Evening, Richard and all," says Druss. "Pint of foamy, please," says Richard. Ray says this. Druss says, why am I doing that? Anyway, I knew it wouldn't be long until we got partial nudity, and we didn't get. Maybe worry then. I'm in my pants or anything like that, you know. Don't know. Lots of superstitions in Ireland, along with the fairies cross the Mersey. Do you know? I used to be really different and spell fairies Faeries. I believe it was in a James Herbert novel, book that I read called Once, and he spelled the fairies differently than I'd ever seen them spelled before. Fairies, F-A-E. I think that's as in fae, a fae, which I believe is a female fairy. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that. Apparently, the three male models smashed down Starmer's front door. They had keys to back door, but couldn't get down the entry. Is that for real? Richard says he hates 28 Days Later. Predictably. 28 Days Later. I liked the first 10 minutes of 28 Days Later when it was released. I hated the rest of it. The first 10 minutes reminded me, before all the carnage happens, it's him waking up in the hospital and no one's around, and then him wandering the Tower Bridge or whatever it was, and no one's around, and then all the cars are all empty and there's no one around, and then as soon as there are people around, I never liked it. I thought it was a bit shit. I don't like my zombies running anyway. However, I have gone back to 28 Days Later and realised that I may have been a little harsh on my first initial take of the film when it was released when I was at uni, and I went back to it and I thought, yeah, what's he called is in it, in Bruges, Gleeson. He's really good. His daughter, though, the actress playing his daughter in that film is absolutely atrocious at acting. Terrible acting from his daughter there. Is it Jackie Gleeson? No, it's not Jackie Gleeson. What's his name in Bruges? He's Irish. Donna will know this. Donna will know it. I think he's Irish. Brendan Gleeson. Is it Brendan Gleeson? It's Brendan Gleeson. Feels strange without the neon cat in the background. The neon cat has gone. Yes. It ended up in a scrap, in a tip, basically. Yeah, I could get another one, but I guess I'm clearing the way for a new look. Maybe a new look. I don't know. But I'm sorry that you missed the cat. Maybe I could rectify that. I know I do have something arriving that's going up here that's going to be quite cool, but you won't be able to see that. It's the hand signal. Anyway, it's Twin Peaks. I'm not even. I'm not for most people. I mean, this just doesn't really look at like anything, does it? It's just got some red curtains. It does have a bit of a weird statue, but other than that, it just looks like somebody's living room. To the average person, it is somebody's living room. But the Venus de Milo adds a touch of class, a touch of thank you, Richard. Yeah, I could put the cat around her face. So, the guy that was doing some work for me on this boat, who's been doing the work for me, came in and he's like, I've just done something to make the Venus de Milo a little bit better. And I said, what have you done? He said, I've just painted a moustache and some glasses on her. And I didn't find that very funny because I was like, you better not have. And I ran in and he hadn't done anything. He was just pretending to do like a. But I could put a cat on her, something like that. It does. It's been lacking a bit of sophistication around here. Richard says that's my fault. Sorry. Ray says, Donna says, yes, Ray. I used to think fairies were mythology. Bollocks to nature. It's not my master. Why is that coming up? Stop. Right, there we go. We got loads of chat, but it's not. Here we go. It's not up. It's not refreshing. They became really the. Oh, I know. I still have that thing, don't I? Twidget. That would make it so much easier instead of reading this iPad. There's the Twidget. Should we see whether Twidget works, everybody? After how many months of not using it? Twidget. This always was a faff, wasn't it? Twidget. Do I even have Twidget still? Twidget. Yeah, I still have the app. I'm going to go into it and see what I can load it in. Start. So I press start and we'll see. We'll see whether Twidget works. And then I can look at the screen and read the comment out from the screen instead of looking at the bloody iPad. It makes my eyes go crossed. Enter YouTube URL. Okay, give me a second. There's the URL. Oh, there I am. Oh, it's lighter on. Oh, it's always going to be lighter on this screen. What is going on? Control. It doesn't even. You can't even like right click. Enter Twitch URL. No, just that one. Loading. It's loading. It's loading. Ah, it's fucking worked. It's worked on here. I mean, now it's going to work on here. But up there. Twidget. There? No, there? No, there? I say it works. And it's worked here. Select. Jesus. Nothing really works. Refresh browser when scene becomes active. Shut down source. Yeah. Twidget. Let's move that around. Let's see whether we can find where the text is. No, it's it did work. It says it's working on the app. It's not coming up on this little box, which is directly there. That's where it would be if it worked. Let's have a look and see whether we can just OBS setup. Here we go. Insert custom CSS body. Right, let's control copy. I have to do this even though it's already in it, but it sometimes. No. Okay. Set browser URL to local host. Copy. Local host is already there, but I'm going to copy over the top of it. No. Twidget. Local file. No. Control via OBS. Oh no. Shut down. Refresh. Cat. No. Oh my god. All right. Twidget's not going to work. Sorry. It should be, but it's not. So stop. Okay. This is really boring for everyone, isn't it? It just makes it easier. Do you know what? If everyone like here could watch my stream over on Tall Tales from a Narrowboat, because I just do the phone. I don't have this camera. I don't have this microphone. I don't have this. I don't have this laptop. I just have a phone. That's the way forward for me, because I want to limit all of this stuff. All of this stuff. There was a time where I would be excited to set this up, and get streaming with all the proper things, and not anymore. It's not anymore. Just I've simplified this place. I've simplified my home, and it's bloody lovely. It's like, just maintain an order, a routine of everything is relevant. Irrelevant. Phone. Do I want to become reliant on a bloody smartphone? Yes, when all I have to do is press record and go, hello everybody. Yes, I will be I will have to have a phone. No, I do think this looks better. It's just things like this to the technicalities of it. I could just. So again, I could just do without that. Like us all, we all go through those periods in our life, don't we? I'm sure we all go through those periods in our life where, it's like now, like Twidget logo. Maybe it'll work if I put it there. 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 Maybe if it work, I'll put it there. Maybe it will work if I put it there. No. Let's go back to the way it was before I lose my patience. You've all been talking amongst yourselves, which is good. Talk amongst yourselves. Pop-up chat. Bollocks the nature, it's not my master race, says they become really the more real Guinness you drink. They become reality the more real Guinness you drink. I had you down as a brute, mate. Brute. I still quite like my dad used to wear brute aftershave. No, Calvin Klein's obsession. So viewer number 9 says, and I have to answer this, viewer number 9, don't I, really? It's like, what's happening with this Abyssinian cat you're acquiring? I've been waiting patiently. So have I, viewer number 9. So have I. I was due to get from a litter an Abyssinian kitten at the end of February. I don't know if anyone remembers this, and I think I sort of made it private after that because I realised that the work was. There's been so much work. I mean, flooring and ceiling's been painted and new beams have been put up, and I didn't want to have a cat have that kind of environment where for the last like 9-10 weeks people have been on and off the boat every day. Not really. I thought let me hold off a bit. I'm still in touch with the breeder. She's a lovely lady. She's been breeding Abyssinians for 27 years. She's a lovely lady. They sell like hotcakes. These little kittens, very popular. And I would like to, you know that thing of like, there's always going to be something that's going to stop you from doing something, and sometimes you just got to take the plunge. Well, it's a bit different when it's a cat. It's a bit different when it's a pet. I didn't want to take the plunge because I didn't think it would be appropriate for the cat to go through that kind of upheaval. And likewise, I still don't, because I am going up and down to Devon a lot. My mum's home is down there, and I lost my mum a couple of years ago, and the home is mine, but it's a park home. I have no intention of moving into a park home for over 60s. So, well, I'm not over 60, and I would never move into a park home. I would live on a boat like this than a park home. So, I'm in the process of selling it, but oh my god, things like ground rent and rules and regulations about 10% if you sell something. People can't afford to sell their park homes because they have to give the park home 10% of the sale. And if you say, I don't know, £200,000 for a park home, you sell for £200,000, £20,000 goes to the park. Goes to the park when you sell it. That's an awful lot of money. And for a park that has shafted, when my mum was alive and when David was alive, they shafted them completely of all the riches they promised with the park and what they were doing. It's like, why do I have to? I pay a ground rent every year of like £4,500 or whatever it is for a ground rent. Mum bought the property out straight. This 20% bullshit. I mean, every park home has to go through it, but there must be people like that can't sell their park home because they can't afford to lose £20,000 if they're selling it for 200,000, just figuratively speaking. So I'm sorting out all of that. So viewer number 9, the Abyssinian, will have to wait. I'm predicting probably September, to be honest. By that time, I'm hoping that the park home would have been going. I've got to put things into storage as well, and it's not as easy as just selling something. I got to put things into storage, and I got a solicited thing, and so I'm up and down, and I just feel that, in a way, I'm glad I didn't get that cat in February, because I didn't realise. I've never done this before, selling a house and all this stuff. I've never done it before. And quite frankly, it was concentrate on this place, get it to the standard that you need it to be comfortable to call your own home, and then work on your mum's house and get that all sorted. So don't think I'm back doing live streams every week, because I'm probably not, but I'm certainly feeling more grounded. Ironically, now that I'm on this boat, I'm feeling more grounded with my boat. But there's a shed load of things, literally a shed load of things at my mum's house to sort out. So sorry, viewer number 9, no Abyssinian just yet. I'm tolerably well, says Richard, although I'm having to deal with a family exhibition at work and an in-the-field promotion that means I'm obliged to care about the job. Oh dear. I'm too lazy to be professional, says Richard. Tell everyone where you work, Richard. Well, not everywhere where you work, but tell in your line of work what you do, because it's quite interesting. But it's extremely challenging. Anyone remember Toffos? I almost thought Old School Fool was in it. Old School Fool joined me very briefly yesterday. I was brilliant, like on the Tall Tales stream. And I was like, oh, Old School's here, yay! But yes, anyone remember Toffos, the classic line? How could we forget? Yes, Richard, says Donna Smith. She does. Richard, she does remember Donna Toffos. Did they make a Coca-Cola Toffo? I thought they were still on the go. Are they still around? Drifters aren't around, are they? We always end up talking about confectionery. As soon as somebody mentions Toffos, it goes into confectionery. Drifters are not around, and I think that's a criminal. Whoever decided to get rid of the drifter should be in prison. N.I. Ray, says Donna. I don't know Elon Musk was from Essex. He is. It's because the people that have been doing the work on the boat are from Essex. So if I sound like I'm taking the mickey a bit, it's because I've been saying the words pucker a lot. I don't know why. I know why, because Mike at the Wood Workshop, little plug for Mike there, the Wood Workshop, is Essex. Yeah, nah. I got a mate who's like nah, and he sounds a bit like that, innit? And everyone from Essex has got that kind of thing, and he's like, yeah, no, pucker, mate, pucker, yeah, pucker, us, you know. And so if I do sound like I've probably picked it up in 11 weeks. It's been at North Gilworth. Viewer number 9. It's okay. I think about forgiving you about the cat. Thank you, viewer number 9. It would be so cool, wouldn't it? It would be so cool. So cool. Yeah. There's a few. I don't really want to sort of like discuss it on the stream. But if I was to say this, I'm got to work on my voiceover. I've got my new reel up and running. I've possibly got an agent. I might have an agent. It's not 100% confirmed yet. I've got a computer game I'm doing, which is great because I wanted to do computer games so I could do the silly voices and one of this computer game is I have to do it in the style of "G'day, pop pickers." Fluff Freeman, if you remember Alan Freeman, the days of the Radio 1 DJs. I guess without sounding too smashy and nicey, because that's my reference to that kind of sound. I've got to play it for seriousness, so I can't do the stupid voice. Hey, viewer number 9 calling in. I can't do it like that, but I have to do a genuine sort of 70s, sound of the 70s kind of voice. And when I think of sounds of the 70s, I think of who was it in Reservoir Dogs? It's Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright, not Steve Wright. Stephen Wright, the comedian who's just got like a really down sort of beat voice, and he speaks a lot really slowly, and he's kind of like that. That's the sound of the 70s. I won't do that because it's got to be English. I love Drifters, says Donna Smith. I love Drifters, Donna. Old School was trying to flog his chalk ices last night. Yes, he was. Yes, he came on with his chalk ices. And yes. I saw it in my DVD collection out today and gave over 300 away to a local care home. Ray, what a nice thing to do. Was there any of those 300 DVDs that made you think, I want to keep that? That's a bit too. I don't want to let that one go. I can't let that one. Oh, it's for the aged people, for people, you know, poorly people. I should really. I'm not going to watch it. No, I really like it. Oh, but they'd like to watch that one. I know, but I might want to watch that myself. Was there any one of those in there, Ray? And if it was, spill the beans and tell us which one was hard to part with. Video Diva says, "Oh my God, I used to love Drifter Chocolate. I forgot about them. I haven't seen those. They're not around, Video Diva, are they? They're not around. I think they're gone. I think they've just been pushed out, and they used to crap on a Twix." They really did. Twix is quite boring. I mean, you can easily replicate Twix. Look at Aldi and Lidl. They make their own, like, twin sticks or whatever it's called, or caramel logs, whatever their product is. It's like a Twix. If you had a Twix and you had one of their knockoff things, you'd be like, I can't tell the difference. Well, I mean, the Pepsi Coke thing, basically the same thing, just different branded name. But a Drifter, nobody's made the Drifter apart from Drifter. I think Drifter was made by Nestle. Was it Nestle? Yes, I think it was Nestle. Drifter was made by Nestle. No one has recreated a cheaper version of the Drifter, and I think there's a market there. So if there's somebody watching from Aldi or Lidl, do a version of the Drifter. Do a version of the Drifter, and let's get that back in the shops. Brought back by popular demand. Do you see that, like, sometimes, don't you, when you're in a shop and you see all these like sweets and things, and it says, you know, Walkers do it a lot, don't they? They say, "I'm back by popular demand." Fish and chip flavour, Walkers limited edition. And I often think when I see those things back by popular demand, I often wonder, like, where do you write that? Like, dear Walkers, I really wish you'd bring back those fish and chip crisps that I had 7 years ago. And did they correlate those emails and go, oh God, we've had 150 of these fish and chip emails about our flavour. We should bring that back. Because if there is a way of doing it, I guess you contact Nestle and say, give us back our Drifter, you bastards. And then maybe if we all did that as a community of Drifter addicts, they would have to listen, and they would have to like bring out a limited edition Drifter, say back by popular demand. Just a thought. Don't know where you write in. Maybe leave a comment for them in this channel. Used to love Drifters. I kept about 20. What, Drifters? Oh, DVDs. That would be great, because if you had kept 20 Drifters, Ray, I'd have probably paid good money, like £10 for a bar. If you had 20 of them, kept about 20. Is there any other in there that the reason? What was the reason behind keeping those 20? Out of those 20, like, what's your favourite? We'll whit this down to try and work out what DVDs Ray did give away to a care home and what he kept himself, by whittling it down to what he's kept. Old Jamaica chocolate. Old Johnny Jepson SL. Old Jamaican chocolate. I think it's Jamaican, or maybe it's Massey chocolate. No, I think it's probably Jamaican. Is Jamaica Old Jamaican? Didn't Old Jamaican make a sponge cake? Stephen Wright did all the radio stuff in Reservoir Dogs. The most famous scene being when he introduces "Stuck in the Middle with You," when Madsen is torturing that guy. Oh, my ear. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yeah, Stephen Wright. Wonderful comedian in the day. I used to quite like listening to Stephen Wright. He was always rat-a-tat-tat kind of comedian, so every single line is a gag. They get a bit boring after a while. But I always remember the one where he's like, I installed a skylight in my ceiling. I like it, but the people upstairs are kind of pissed off. Things like that. They were just amusing. They were quite funny. They were, yeah. I quite liked it. Yes. Old Jamaican, says Johnny. Old Jamaican. Yeah, Old Jamaican sponge cake. Made by McVitie's, I believe. The same people that make the ginger cake. Took them to the charity shop. Kept my TV box sets. They're harder to find. What 20 did you keep? See, now Video Diva wants to know, Ray. We all want to know, what 20 did you keep? Out of those 20, what are your top 3? Top 3 that you kept? Yes, Steve was good. Steve was, wasn't he? He was, Johnny. He was, I think he's still around. Is he? I hope he's still around. I mean, I know that he did a bit of acting. I think he turned up in So I Married an Axe Murderer years ago. I remember him making a cameo in that. I know he turned up in an Albert Brooks film as well. He did quite a lot of crossover after Reservoir Dogs, I guess. He sort of had a new lease of life as an actor, and he was in a lot of, he was lending his voice to a lot of sort of things. He was doing less stand up then, but there were very few 80s and 90s comedians coming out of America. I do love Bill Hicks, and everyone always said he just stole everything that Lenny Bruce. But personally, I don't know that much about Lenny Bruce. I never really went that far back with it. I liked George Carlin. I liked who else was there? Those kind of controversial comedians. So Bill Hicks, George Carlin, Stephen Wright was a different class than those guys, but there were others around at the time that used to really annoy me. I'm not a fan of Norm Macdonald. I know there's a lot of people out there. Sheriff Brackett, because of Bill and Ted. Excellent. Wow. Can't believe I've done that. But yeah, George Carlin was in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. That's how I found out about George Carlin. Then I watched all of his back catalogue. But yeah, I must admit, I'm not. I don't find many. I don't like all the new ones like Dave Chappelle. I mean, Ricky Gervais lately has been a bit shite. It's not just American comedians that aren't that good. I never got Punch Drunk Love actor, who's great in Punch Drunk Love. Adam Sandler. I never got Adam Sandler, although Tollbooth Willie by Adam Sandler is actually the funniest thing I think he ever did. And I've listened to variations of Tollbooth Willie. If you haven't checked out Adam Sandler, just as after I've slagged him off for his comedy that I didn't like, and those films that he made, like The Wedding Singer, no, the earlier ones, the cult following films that he did. I can't even remember what they're called. I want to say something. I can't remember what they're called. They're not funny. But Tollbooth Willie is funny. It's about a guy who works in a toll booth on the Canadian border, and everyone's kind of like coming through, and they all take the piss out of him, and he just loses the plot every time. It's quite funny. It's quite funny. It sort of amuses me. There's an independent record store near me that buys DVDs. When I flogged them some, the guy there comments positively on the titles, tells me how rare some of them are, and then offers me a pittance. Oh, I hate that. They do that at car boot sales. They try and knock you down for a wicker box set of The Wicker Man on DVD. Has this got the two versions of The Wicker Man? Yes, it has the two versions of The Wicker Man, both the extended cut and the theatrical cut. Ironically, you'll find that the extended cut is actually missing scenes from some of the theatrical cut. And by the time you start explaining that to them, this is the Anchor Bay DVD back in the 90s before they released the Blu-ray 4K, bells and whistles. And, you're explaining this to them. And then it's even got the cards that came within the wicker box, the special... The wicker box. Oh, he says, it's Region 1, isn't it? I said, well, yeah. I said, it only came out on Region 1. I said, it's if you got a multi-region player now. I mean, and he goes, I haven't got a multi-region player. I said, you are aware that 99% of DVD players have a remote hack. You just got to look online and you could probably unlock your region encoding and all that through your remote. Yeah, no. I would have bought that if it was Region 2. I would remember being there for 20 minutes looking at them, and everything else was perfect. Like everything, it's like I keep all my DVDs, and I just at the end of the day, I was sending it. We're going back about 10 years, maybe a little bit even longer than that, but just remember, like, what a waste of time you are. What a waste of time that was. Anyway, Bourneville, Old Jamaica. Bourneville, Old Jamaica, chocolate rum and raisin is one of my favourite ice cream flavours. Review number 9, rum and raisin. Bloody love rum and raisin. I've yet to find the one that tasted like it tasted on the Isle of Capri, or Capri, if you want to be. The Isle of Capri. The Isle of Capri is just an island filled with Ford Capris. The Isle of Capri. And I was there when I was on the cruise ships in 2012. And we were there, we had an overnight. I went to this ice cream parlour there. And I'm not joking. I would have bought a year's supply of rum and raisin ice cream from this little ice cream parlour. The only way I can the only way I can sort of like describe this, it was, you know, when ice cream's velvety. It's a really weird thing to think of, but when it's so smooth and creamy that you get this, it almost takes a while to dissolve on your tongue because it's thick. It's like a clotted cream velvet, like a creamiest of creamy velvet. It was like that. It with the texture of this ice cream was unbelievable, and the flavour. I swear it was real rum in. Well, I know it was real rum. It wasn't rum essence. They use real rum in this thing. I mean, it wasn't going to get you drunk or anything, but it was bloody delicious. But yeah, I love rum and raisin, and I'm forever chasing that kind of rum and raisin. I don't think I'll ever, unless I go back to the Isle of Capri. My God, we've all gone on. We've gone on. Well, there's like 20, but Cape Fear. Which version of Cape Fear, Ray? The Scorsese version, or the first version? Dial M for Murder. Dial M for. Somebody left a comment. I had to laugh. Clickbait. They said clickbait. This isn't Hitchcock. Clickbait. I had to laugh. Clearly a tuna sandwich short of a picnic, that lady. If you're watching, I'm only joking. Yeah, you know, clickbait. Like putting Hitchcock's name on things is going to get you a viral video. It may have done in 1960. Clickbait, my arse. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Dial M for Murder episode I just uploaded. Go in and read the comment. It's quite funny. Don't be nasty. Anyone, don't be nasty. Just laugh with her. Just laugh. Well, laugh at her, but not with her. Laugh at her. Clickbait. Anyway, Dial M for Murder, Boys from the Black Stuff, classics. They are all classics, exactly, Richard. If you're going to offer pennies, may as well give them away. Yeah, and that's what I probably did with the Wicker Man box set as well. So, you know, like Richard, it's like, you know, they show their enthusiasm. They know what the classic is, and you respect that because they recognise it, and you think, oh, this is a man of fine taste. Fine taste in a very, 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 very small pockets. Sheriff Brackett, I'm coming out of the booth. I do like that. I can't slag off Adam Sandler because of Punch Drunk Love and Tollbooth Willie. That's it. Punch Drunk Love. Otherwise, I've not seen that film that it was really popular with him in the 2015 or something. I can't remember what it's called. Everyone raved about it. I never watched it because I'm still not as big as Adam Sandler. I'm coming out of the booth. Norm Macdonald died not long ago. Video DV, yeah, he did. It was quite sad. As I said, I'd been following him back on the days when I was on Twitter. I'd follow him on Twitter, and I liked his tweets. I just didn't like his stand-up. I liked him. I thought he was quite funny. Tollbooth Willie is great. Yes, I was sad to see that. Watched a couple episodes of Cheers as a personal tribute. Oh yes, I didn't read that comment out, but I know Norm, the actor who played Norm. Hey Norm, George Wendt, I think it is. George Wendt passed away yesterday, I believe. Lived to a good old age. I think he was in his 80s or 90s maybe. But I know he passed away. So classic character from Cheers there. She Comes Home to Me is vulgar, but I quite like that. Norm. George Wendt died as well. Yes, Video Diva. I didn't know somebody else had mentioned that, but yeah, I heard that on the radio. Just watched Deadhead. Johnny Jepson. Deadhead. What's Deadhead? What's Deadhead? Should I know what Deadhead is, Johnny? Tell me what is Deadhead? Deadhead. Is it Adam Sandler? They're both dead. Anyway, who died? Who else has died? Who's died? Who's too mixed up then? Which one are we getting? Did I get things mixed up? I'm confused now. They're both dead anyway. It's Video Diva. They're both dead anyway. They're both dead. They're both dead anyway. Original version of Cape Fear. Great movie. I do love the Scorsese movie, but I do love the original as well. And I thought it was a stroke of genius to get the two actors in their not their prime, in their old age into the 1990 Cape Fear. So you had Robert Mitchum and Gregory Peck reprising, well, not quite their roles, but yeah, it was a stroke of genius, and it must have been great to have those powerhouses acting with another powerhouse at the time, Robert De Niro. Let's not talk about Robert De Niro anymore. Let's not talk about Robert De Niro. I mean, he's Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro. I mean, you know how iconic figures from the past have died young, and they've become immortalized. Jim Morrison. I know we're talking really young. I think that's the 27 Club. We're not going to go to the 27 Club, but you know, Buddy Holly, I believe, was 36 or something. Maybe a little bit longer. You know, because I'm just remembering the golden age of Robert De Niro movies. I'm not even going to finish that train of thought, but he's a fine actor. I mean, everything you watch Robert De Niro for the first 25 years of his career is wonderful stuff. It's wonderful stuff. And then you get to sort of like meet the parents, and then you get a little bit, you get into the realm of like, yeah, Robert De Niro. Far better than the remake with De Niro's following the scenery. He does overact in Scorsese's. I give you that, Ray. He does overreact. He does overreact. I think the scenes that work the best in Cape Fear probably stem to the absolutely brilliant acting by Juliette Lewis. I think she's the strongest actress in that film. Juliette Lewis. What is required of her in that role, which would have been unmistakably hard for somebody who, with relatively new on the scene, to take on a role like that. I think she's often underlooked as an actress. I know she's kind of gone off the boil a little bit with maybe politics and things over the years and stuff, but I've always seen Juliette Lewis as sort of like an actress that I'm just waiting for her to get real sort of like award ceremony accolades, and I think it's probably going to happen, but it's probably going to come 30 years like after she started. I think she's absolutely fantastic in Cape Fear. That's just what I think. I think she, you know, without Juliette Lewis in that film, you've just got a overacting Robert De Niro and a Nick Nolte who spends most of the time sort of fumbling about with a. I never like the actress who plays his wife. forgotten her name. I never liked her, and everyone used to like her. I never liked her as an actress. I can't remember. So, Scorsese's directing and cinematography is wonderful in that film, and the music of Cape Fear, the remake, is absolutely sublime. But Juliette Lewis steals the show for me in the remake. But anyway, there we go. Let's just check my batteries, because we've been on for... Oh my god, we've been on for nearly an hour and a half. I'm going to check my batteries. I've got everything on. Oh my god. I tell you, since I upgraded one of the batteries and stuff, I got like 90%. I mean, I don't have to worry. I could be streaming for 7 hours, 8 hours, and it would be down to about 50. So, not that I will be streaming that long, but yeah. I could probably, instead of looking at that awful iPad, let me have a look at some of the comments up here. Well, it's been an interesting stream, an hour and a half. 11 people watching. Hello, 11 people watching. They're both dead anyway. I keep seeing that comment, Video Diva. Just sounds like, it just sounds like, you know, a sort of a conversation ender, doesn't it? It's like, oh, I'm so away. They're both dead anyway. Oh. Original version of Cape Fear, far better than the remake with De Niro. Something. De Niro has put too much up his snout, says Ray. Where? Yeah, I don't want to slag De Niro off, because you can't slag him off because it's fucking De Niro. But Jessica Lange, thank you, viewer number 9. Never a fan of Jessica Lange. Postman Always Rings Twice, overrated. Nowhere near as good as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or The Shining. Zoya Blake. Hello, Zoya Blake. Just up. Greetings from... Oh, God. Can I read that out, Zoya? Can I read that out, Zoya? Is it a silent P? Henom Hen. Tim Henman. Phenomenon. I am so sorry, Zoya. So sorry. How are you, Zoya? I hope you're well. I know you're over in the Philippines area, and I've been to the Philippines, and I still can't pronounce something like that. Is it the Philippines? You're somewhere over there. Somewhere over there. Oh, well, better late. It's probably not. There's Old School Fool. Hello, Old School Fool. 2 streams in one night, mate. You get the prize. You get one of Ray's DVDs that he didn't take to the charity shop today. Ray, could you send Old School Fool one of your DVDs that you didn't send to the charity shop today as a prize? Because Old School very kindly joined me for the stream last night. So that's twice in one night, twice in 2 days. Why not? He's become a real jackass, De Niro. Yeah, I know, but Sheriff, it's like I still really respect him, like, as a, you know, the 25, 30, I'd say 25 years, all the what he's given to cinema. And he's given a lot. He's given some absolutely fantastic performances. So there's always this thing, like, when I read about something and I you know, politics aside, just looking at, I am intrigued by this film where he plays, there's 2 De Niros, because it reminds me of the double Van Damme, Double Impact. Whereas, like, the trailer, I remember the trailer on the video, and, you know, it was like, double Van Damme. And to get 2 De Niros, it almost seems like he's just like he's bigging himself up to that point where he can think he can get away with that instead of. It's a bit laughable, and I find myself going, God, what has happened to De Niro? when I read something and I go, "Oh, De Niro, just stop talking, mate. Just stop talking," or just, and then I have to push myself to think, "Oh God, oh God, oh God, Once Upon a Time in America." Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Goodfellas. 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 Oh, Raging Bull. I mean, was his best work with Scorsese? Arguably, was his best work with Scorsese. Sergio Leone doesn't get enough credit for Once Upon a Time in America. Things like that. But yeah, I have to push myself to think to think of the better days for De Niro. Godfather Part 2. Better days. The better days. Midnight Run is a good film. Midnight Run is fun. Midnight Run is a good film. Midnight Run, I believe, was directed by Martin Brest, who did the Beverly Hills Cop film, the first one. It's a good film. Charles Grodin's very funny actor. Richard English says, old school, by my beard, by which I mean facial hair, not fake wife. Old school fool, says Ray. Fire. Burn. Fire. Da, 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 da. Is it following me, my face? Oh. That's what happens when you have a battery powered light. It dies on you. Let's see whether one of these goes up brighter. Well, that's gone up brighter. It was already quite dark in here. Give me a second. Let me plug this thing in. But I haven't got a USB. I've got USBs everywhere over there. But look, it's just the Venus de Milo in the background. Hold on. Give me a second. I need to get myself a USB. I need a USB. I've got one. Ow. It's in the bedroom. That means that I plug it in quite quickly because it doesn't. I don't want it to flash like a strobe. There we go. It's plugged in. Let's see whether it charges. I think one of these doesn't work though. I bet the USB-C doesn't work, and it's the USB that works. Let's see. No, it's charging. There we go. We got light back. Oh, there's a delay on that screen. I'm back, but there's a delay. There we go. Is that better? You see me again? Can you see me? Phnom Penh, capital of Cambodia, originally from Hampstead, London. Zoya Blake, who's a big fan of rooms, if I remember right. Zoya, you like your rooms? I do have some episodes of Rooms to go back on my channel, actually. Some of them I had to take down because of copyright. I had 2 strikes, you see, so I had to reduce content. I think, Zoya, you liked Rooms, didn't you, Zoya? Cambodia, originally from Hampstead, London. What took you to Cambodia, Zoya? What an interesting part of the world that would be. Why do I think it was the Philippines? I don't know. I've been in Malaysia. Luckily, when I was on the cruise ships, and we did Malaysia and Japan and South Korea and Taiwan, Thailand. Didn't get to Cambodia. How close? Cambodia's next to Thailand. Am I right? Oh, I might be wrong. Yeah. I'd be fascinated by that part of the world. I want to go to Peru though. I've decided that like one of my dream locations is Peru, but I don't like humidity, and I believe there's a thing called a rainforest in Peru, which is basically the whole of Peru is a rainforest. So I'm thinking that there's probably humidity in Peru. I'd still like to go there because I want to find some weird South American Aztec drug that grows in the rainforest. That if you take, you become a small rabbit for 12 hours, and you go on this weird trip. No, I don't want to do that. Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca. Has anyone done any ayahuasca? Has anyone seen the movie Queer? It's a wonderful film. So really do see it. It's a biography of William Burroughs, and I'm not joking when I say that Daniel Craig, so far removed from the Bond character in this film Queer 2024 about William S. Burroughs. Ayahuasca features in it. Wonderful cinematography film. Wonderful soundtrack by Trent Reznor. Really good film. Probably the best film I've seen this year, actually. Queer. Give it a watch if you're interested in wanting to see Daniel Craig act, because we know he can act. He was in some good films before the Bond, and the first Bond he's in is the best Bond, Casino Royale. But Queer, yeah. I knew about Burroughs. I got into Burroughs when I saw Cronenberg's Naked Lunch, where I believe it's Peter Weller who plays William S. Burroughs in that film, and it's more of a horror film. There's not a horror element to Queer. There's some very freaky sequences in Queer that especially when they take this drug, very effective, beautiful cinematography, wonderful score by Trent Reznor, great performance by Daniel Craig, and I think not underrated, but I think it flopped, but it's a great movie. It's a great movie. Did I finish your? I did Cambodia. So yeah. So Zoya, what took you to Hampstead? Ricardo Sharif, Ricardo Ray Bay. It's old school full. Of course I will. Yeah, send him something good in the post, Ray. I saw Alto Nights. That's the film. That's the film where De Niro thinks that it could be double De Niro. Double De Niro. It was not the best. Not the best. I think I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see it. When I heard about it, I thought, oh my god, the nerve of the guy. Not the best, but not the worst, is it? We're not talking like Mario Brothers or anything like that, or whatever it was that he was in, that terrible film, which I never watched anyway. Old school fools telling it like it is there. De Niro and his obligatory son daughter. Just shut the fuck up, De Niro. Just shut the fuck up, De Niro. Just shovel deeper into that pit of libtardation. I'm not going any further. Are you really a full-time pescatarian now then? Viewer number 9, yes I am. Viewer number 9, I'm a pescatarian. I was a pescatarian for 5 years. It was cruise ships. It was cruise ships that turned me from being a pescatarian. So I was a pescatarian for 5 years, and I I didn't miss meat. And some of the things that I missed, I think, as a pescatarian at the time, I've lost the taste for now. And I hate to say it, one of those is bacon. Bacon just doesn't taste like it did in the 80s. Like, no matter how expensive you go, like, I'm going to buy those 8 rashers for £5 because I'm trying to regain that bacon flavour from the 80s. No, I'm at that point now where I don't think bacon means much to me anymore, and it used to mean the world to me. Viewer number 9. It used to mean the world to me, and it doesn't. So I figured, and also a whole other slew of things, and I could go into it very quickly, and I'll speed it up really quickly because I don't want to get like anyone to give me a strike, not a strike, but you know, I don't monetize this channel. I'll basically say they're putting mRNA injections, using mRNA technology to inject food stocks of all these different vaccines that's going through the system of these, you know, the animals on the largest industrial farming scale across America. It's happening all over the place. GMOs are popping up in everything. They're putting vaccines in lettuces and tomatoes just to, you know, make them grow faster, resist bacteria, resist diseases of this, that, and the other. And I read it all and I just absorb it and I just think, good God, the world has gone fucking mental. It's time to walk away from the meat because although it isn't here yet, if somebody like Nigel Farage gets in... If somebody like Nigel Farage gets into this country, who's in bed with philanthropists like, you know, well, certain philanthropists that are, let's just say, you know, the largest farm owners in America, and he will be, you know, all of those kind of people in the science and stuff. GMOs are going to be here. We're going to have genetically modified turnips, you know. And ideally in a world where we're relying on medication to make our lettuce healthy. I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat it. So, you know, that's probably a big reason. I also think it's quite cruel. I've watched enough PETA videos to see things, and industrial farming has gone completely out of control. And there is a 20% ethic thing in there as well. Yes, I'm a pescatarian. But yes. De Niro and his obligatory son and daughter. Oh God, there's quite a few comments. Hold on. A pesky pescatarian. I am a pesky pescatarian. Paddington. Viewer number 9 says Paddington. I've never seen the movie Paddington. I've been told it's really good. Paddington 2, I've been told, is like a masterpiece. But my husband did ayahuasca. Oh, Zoya Blake says, my husband did ayahuasca. We have ayahuasca weekends here. They're touted as therapy breaks. Lots of throwing up, apparently. I love Kerouac. Interesting, Zoya. I did maybe that Cambodia trip is, you know, I often think about peyote. I often think about peyote, of like going to the middle of Arizona, the Arizona desert, and you know, taking some peyote and experiencing the sun setting and the cold nights of the desert while tripping my balls off on on a cactus. I still want to do something. Maybe I'll do that for my 60th. I did something crazy for my 50th, so yeah, I won't be repeating that again. I'd like to do something crazy every decade. Ayahuasca is on my list. Maybe they've got ayahuasca in Peru. They probably got something else in Peru. Richard English, I saw Queer, but it didn't quite catch the spirit of Burroughs' novel to me. Not that an adaptation should be lavishly faithful, but there's a certain spirit that's missing. I've not read as much as I expect as you on Burroughs. I certainly do know it would be quite hard any adaptation on that man to, I guess, capture the words, because I mean he is a wordsmith, isn't he? William Burroughs was a fantastic writer and stuff. So lost in translation possibly a little bit, Richard. I don't know. I mean, for somebody like myself who knows only the basics of William Burroughs, it certainly was more revealing to me than, say, the horror film version of Naked Lunch, even though Naked Lunch is a great film itself. But Queer is a lot more grounded than that. So oh, put your bloody glasses on. Oh, put your bloody glasses on. Are you talking to me, old school fool? Because I'm squinting it. Like, I do need glasses. I should just... I'll finish up with my glasses. I actually can... Ow! I forgot my projector screen's up there. 1 second. I can't see in the distance with these bloody things. I can only see when I'm sitting down really close to the screen. I'm just short-sighted. Is it short-sighted? Oh my god, that's so much better. That's so much better. No, man, don't turn your back on Waitrose black treacle bacon. Black treacle bacon. The thing is, though, viewer number 9, black treacle bacon, right? I bought it a couple of months back. Not Waitrose, though. And it was from a farm shop, probably Gloucester Services. So when I just got back down to Devon, I'd always pop into Gloucester Services. And I bought some. Yeah, it was Gloucester Services. And I bought some and I put it in the air fryer. And in an air fryer, it took like 2 or 3 minutes. I was watching it, and then it just went. It went from okay to, you know, like fairly well cooked to completely ruined instantly. Like the treacle made it burn quicker. So I won't be trying it now, but if I was to say black treacle bacon, make sure you don't overcook it, because the treacle it goes very burnt very quickly. I haven't tried the Waitrose one though. I did try the Faken thing. They still can't get that right. They still can't get it right. It's friggin' horrible. It's the worst substitute for any vegetarian. Is the I don't care when people say, "Oh, there's a, you know, great fake bacon out there." Bollocks. Bollocks. Tastes as tasteless as, you know, as a normal Sainsbury's Waitrose traditional brand of bacon does. But the texture's wrong. It's just like eating cardboard with a faint smoky bacon frazzle smell. No, it's all here already. Can I get a minute silence for black pudding? Yeah, you can have a minute silence, old school fool. I was never a black pudding fan anyway, but you can have a minute silence. We'll do one at the end of the stream. I quite like haggis. I quite like haggis. I bought a few of those in my time. I prefer those. I don't like the idea of pork blood in black pudding. Nah, but I understand it's very, you know, it's an extremely important ingredient in the English. Is it Scottish? It's black pudding's more Scottish though, isn't it? It's more Scottish, I think. Black pudding. Only when I'm chewing it. OSF. Viewer number 9. Love me some blood pudding. Oh no. No, I can't. No, I don't like the thought of that. I don't like the thought of that. I can't do it. I can't do it. Good lad. I'm a wuss. Been away for 20 minutes and come back to bacon not tasting like bacon. It all comes back to food. It does, Video Diva. It does. It does. It always comes back. Well, we were, you know, old school fool was talking yesterday about what were we talking about? What did you mention in the chat? Somebody else backed me up. You mentioned it. Cool trends. He certainly wouldn't. We've got a sticky video. We got a sticky video. Oh. We may have a few issues with the hawthorn tree above the Starlink, so if it does go off, stick with it. I hope that it doesn't devoid the stream too much. I just noticed it's on the red for some reason. Something's happened. Maybe one of Elon Musk's Starlink's gone rogue. Rogue Starlink, and it's not working as well. But yeah, I'm probably going to end it now anyway, because it's nearly 2 hours. So before it completely like dies on me. But yeah, basically I'm under a hawthorn tree, as I was yesterday with Old School 4 in the stream on the Tall Tales from a Narrowboat. Spent too much time with McCartney. I read that. We can get haggis here, but they're $8 a tin. $8 a tin? A tin of haggis, Zoya. Tin. Could you buy it in like a, like a skin, like a sock, plastic sock, in a tin? I've never seen haggis in a tin before. Be interested to taste that. Not now because I'm a pescatarian, but it's not the thought; it's the taste that floats my boat. Is that a tube of toffos in your pocket, or do you really love black pudding? Says Richard English de Ray. I like mussels, cockles. Alive, oh. I love seafood. I love all seafood. There isn't any oysters. I'm not a big fan of oysters. Can do without oysters. Scallops. Love scallops. Deep fried scallops. They're good. I love all the seafood stuff. And I love, as I said on the stream yesterday, I watched a documentary recently about the downfall of the British fish and chip shop. I'm not going to go into the politics as much as I did on the last stream, but the cost of fish has gone up, the cost of living and materials has gone up, and basically, but they're getting rid of the fish and chips. Yeah, we got an issue with the buffering. Something changed with the Starlink, and so I apologise for that. Something's moved, but fish and chip shops are all closing down. Support your local fish and chip shop. If it's a good one, treat yourself this week. Just do something for me. Treat yourself this week. Do something for yourself. Get yourself a nice cotton chips, mushy peas or curry sauce. Entirely up to you. I know there is one or the other, or both if you want to be greedy. But when we lose the British fish and chip shop, it's a bit like it's a bit like losing the Union Jack. Fish and chips. So pescatarianism, just eating fish. It's not a bad thing when you love all different types of fish. There is a good tasting piece of beef that's hard to replicate. But it's few and far between what I've been cooking up, and I've spent like £25 on an organic Waitrose joint of beef, and it's made 3 meals, and all I've tasted is like the vegetables that I put in, all the herbs and spices that I've put in with it, and I haven't really tasted the meat in years, and I just think something's happening to our food already in the last like 10-15 years, the meat in particular. Something's happened that it's like decaffeinated coffee. It's like it takes all the fun of a cup of coffee out of it takes the fun of a coffee when you have decaf. And there's something about this meat that just it's not the same tasting. It's not the same tasting. It looks the same. It cooks the same, but it just doesn't have the flavor. And I think because I cook with nice herbs and spices and fresh basil and rosemary and all that stuff, I just really love the flavor of vegetables now. And anyway, God, the signal is really not like in this time of night. It's not the thought of the taste that floats my boat. That's stupid Thomas in the islands. Clonakitty. Clonakitty black pudding is far superior to our berry pudding. Clonakitty. Am I bastardizing that name? Clonakitty. It's cool. It's a cool place to live in. I've only had oysters once, and I was glued to the toilet for 3 days. Food of love, my arse. It was your arse, Richard. It was your arse. I bought Clonakitty pudding from the town itself, and it's delicious. Ray, backing up viewer number 9 there. Clonakitty, everybody. Black pudding, if you're interested for that. Fish and chips are Jewish. They'll survive. Moving on. Yes, Ray, I lived in Kenmare for a few years, and used to go to Clonakilty Butchers, says viewer number 9. Lovely jubbly, says viewer number... Old school fool, you make me laugh. That's good then. That's good that they've survived. Fish and chips. Good staple Jewish food. Yeah. Fish and chips. I just love cod and chips. I just love when they, I sometimes get a haddock. Sometimes I'll even buy a place and go completely crazy. I'll buy a place, especially when I'm in Devon. The place is from Brixham. It's a Brixham place. It's really nice, and you can actually buy wet fish from the fish and chip shop there if you wanted. So you could come back and have a healthy piece of fish as opposed to something that's been dunked in a load of beef dripping, or not beef dripping, but I hope not beef dripping. God, I'll have to because a lot of chippies are using beef dripping now, I hear, to make sure that their flakes, just huge snow white flakes, just pull apart, and then a mixture of like lemon on the batter and salt and vinegar. Oh, God, I'm so hungry. I haven't got any fish. Actually, I've got crab sticks. I don't think you call them crab sticks anymore because there's never ever been crab in a crab stick. It's only sashimi. Sashimi, which is a sashimi flavouring, I think, most of it. Anyway, move that tree, says Old School 4. Move the tree. It's fine again now, look. It's fine. Oh, no, it's blocky. It's blocky. I will... The boat that moored in front of me, Old School Fool, he's got some shears, and I've seen him. I mean, he's doing the CRT's work. He's trimming back the tree further down, and I was like, it's the Crick Boat Show this week. I've got a friend who's taking me to Saturday to the Crick Boat Show. Might go via store. I might buy a pair of shears. I think definitely will stop injuries occurring, like my hawthorn scar that I'm going to have if I have a pair of shears. So I think I might just might invest in a pair of shears, stick them in the back. I phoned the wife earlier and asked if she wanted to pick up fish and chips on the way home, but she grunted at me. I think she still regards letting me name the twins. Is that from a film? Seafood sticks now. Seafood sticks. Video Diva's been away and she's come back, and now we're talking about, yes, seafood sticks. I have 12 seafood sticks. Was it 6? I have 16 seafood sticks. And do you know what you do with them, Video Diva? Do you know what you do with them? You can peel them like a banana, like a fine. You just keep going like that, and just kind of like peel the sashimi away. Yeah. Anyway, now I'm really hungry because I'm thinking about cod and chips. Oh, fish sticks. Fish sticks. Fish sticks. Fish sticks. Is that cod roe? What's cod roe? That's not a fish dick, is it? That's not a fish dick. Cod roe is isn't that like I don't know what cod roe is. Somebody fill in what cod roe is, but keep it eggs, fish eggs, caviar. Then is fancy caviar cod roe? Beluga caviar, is beluga a fish? You're the one getting us to watch Queer. Oh, Old School Fool. Give it a watch. Give it a watch. Also, if you're into, like, I know a lot of people who are on this channel. We've hardly talked about anything remotely to do with this channel. I haven't been uploading as much, but I really love Your Friends and Neighbours. If anyone's been watching that, Your Friends and Neighbours, I'm a big John Hamm fan anyway, but I think that is a really good series. I won't say any more. Just Your Friends and Neighbours. Sturgeon. I immediately think of somebody up in Scotland when I read that. Sturgeon. They're gonna do Deliveroo deliver to the canal side. I've never used Deliveroo. Oh, we've gone off again. Oh, damn Starlink. I've never used Deliveroo Video Diva, but I bet you they deliver everywhere, don't they? I bet you they would deliver it. You'd pay 25 quid to have it brought here, but I bet you they'd bring it to bridge number 24. I'll be standing with a red rose in my collar. Beluga's a whale. Of course it is. Beluga whale, old school fool. Beluga is a whale, yes. Also, beluga caviar is whale eggs. Whale eggs? Belugas, didn't he play Dracula? Oh, God. Oh, anyway, thanks. So it's been really nice to see so many familiar names in here, and I won't name them all now, but you're all so welcome. It's been really, really good stream, really fun to catch up, and I'm not sure when the next live stream will be on here, but expect this kind of setup. Yeah, even though it was a little bit of a moan earlier on about like having to set it up, I'm going to take pictures of how everything is, the settings of how they all are, and it will be a lot quicker than 6 hours to set up, as I had so many issues with putting everything back together again. So I'm going to watch Your Friends and Neighbours when all the episodes have released. I watched The Studio with Seth Rogen, and I enjoyed that. Especially, is it the same people then? I've not watched The Studio. Is it the same people? I don't know much about the creator of My Friends, Your Friends and Neighbours. I don't know much about it, but it's a brilliant series. John, if you already kind of like John Hamm, did you ever see a film called Confess Fletch? Now, I personally think that I'm a fan of both Fletch movies from the 80s, including the second one, Fletch Lives, with Chevy Chase. I am a fan of those two films. I think Fletch is probably the finest Chevy Chase movie next to Funny Farm and National Lampoon's Vacation. Those three movies. I think that's his finest work. We're talking Chevy Chase now. But when I heard John Hamm was given the role of Irwin M. Fletcher, I thought to myself, he's going to be great in that role, because, you know, I've seen that he can do comedy, you know, regardless of some of it being on Saturday Night Live, and don't get me started on that pile of shite. But I knew that he's got a range. So when I heard he was doing Confess Fletch, I thought that's gonna be good. And I would say that Your Friends and Neighbours, he's kind of taken that character. Up. Okay, some of this is not going to come out, but I am going to end it here. But let me just try and read the comments. A lot of that didn't come out because of the something going on with the satellite moving. Studio is a different show, but about a producer in the movie industry. They talk about movies versus films, lowboy versus highbrow. I liked Ham in Christmas episode of Black Mirror as the dating advice guy. Anyway, long live Tall Tales from an Airboat. Can't wait to have a good old gander aboard soon. Video number 9. There will be a... but you're not going to be able to see it because the stream's frozen. Someone is in my house. I was saying, it's a bit of an app, but someone is in my house. I haven't even opened it. I won't be opening it, probably. I've already looked at it. I looked at it, you know, when it came out about 4 years ago, but I bought a copy and I'm going to keep it sealed. But yes, I'll do a video. You're so out of sync. I'm getting Italian cinema vibes. Yes, I know, mate. It's just going to get worse. For some reason, some things happen to the Starlinks and they're not linking up. I love the fact that they're turning into an Italian cinema. Right. I hope the technical aspects. The next time I do a stream, I'll make sure I'm not under a hawthorn tree and the Starlink has the sky to look at. Yeah, because it can be a bit frustrating. So thanks for sticking with me, everyone, and thanks for everyone who's been a part of the stream tonight. It's been lovely to talk to you all. I am going to be calling it. Um, Cruising video coming next week when I move the boat. So if you're on around next Wednesday, around that time, where Tuesday maybe, Wednesday looking like Wednesday, but I'll post it anyway. So thanks for watching. Speak soon. Bye.